Hello, I'm Father Casvernema Esfide of Radio Veritas Asia. Welcome to this special program, The Voice of Asian Bishops. It is an honor and a blessing to have with us today Bishop Socrates Mesiona, Apostolic Vicariate of Puerto, Princesa, Palawan, Philippines. Bishop Soc, welcome.
Thank you for having me in your program, Father Casimir.
Pope Francis appointed Bishop Socrates Mesiona, MSP, as the Apostolic Vicar of the Apostolic Vicariate of Puerto Princesa and titular Bishop of Budua on February 17, 2017. His jurisdiction covers Puerto Princesa and the southern municipalities of Palawan. Born on September 17, 1963, in Sevilla, Bohol, Philippines, Bishop Mesiona completed his high school and philosophical studies at the Immaculate Heart of Mary Seminary in Tagbilaran City, Bohol, from 1980 to 1984. He studied theology at the Divine Word School of Theology in Tagaytay City from 1984 to 1989 and was ordained to the priesthood on April 14, 1989. From 1994 to 1996, he earned a licentiate in missiology from the Pontifical Gregorian University in Rome. He served as director of the MSP Seminary, rector of the Philmission Seminary, parish priest of Our Lady of the Abandoned in Mandaluyong City, and MSP Bursar General. Bishop Mesiona was MSP Superior General from 2004 to 2009 before becoming the National Director of the Pontifical Mission Societies. He currently holds this position and serves as Chairman of the CBCP Episcopal Commission on Mission.
So let's start with this question, Bishop. You have served the Vicariate of Puerto Princesa since 2016 appointment, I believe. Within that range of years, I believe you have known already the idea about the picture ministries in the Vicariate. Can you tell us general picture of your Vicariate?
Okay. The Apostolic Vicariate of Puerto Princesa is located in Palawan, which is in the west side of the Philippines. It stretches from up north, even up to Luzon area, and then down to the south, which is close already to Mindanao. It's a bit large area, and the whole of Palawan is divided into two vicariates. Up north is the Vicariate of Taytay, and in the south, which is where I am assigned, is the Apostolic Vicariate of Puerto Princesa. So my area covers from the whole of Puerto Princesa City down south in the island of Balabac, which is already close to Malaysia. And we have a total population more or less 500,000, with 80% of this population are Catholics. And we have 35 parishes.
Within that population of more than 1 million and 80% are Catholics, can you tell us the specific ministries that the church offer here in the Puerto Princesa, Bishop?
The specific ministry that we have are the three functions of Jesus, which is prophet, king, and priest. And of course, as prophet, equivalent for that would be the social action ministry, and king would be the Christian formation ministry, and for the priest would be the liturgical ministry. So these are the threefold functions of Jesus that are being incarnated into the different parishes. So that's how we form the ministries in the parishes.
Within that horizons of ministries and the Christianity here, the presence of Christianity here more than 400 years, which is 100 years behind the Philippines for 500 years. Where do you see, or to be exact, which part of ministries do you think that would like to emphasize in these upcoming years?
Right now, we are emphasizing on building Christian basic communities or basic ecclesial communities, and stressing also on the aspect of evangelization, because we believe that the gift that we receive is a gift that we need to continue to share to the next generation. That is why our focus is on Christian formation, and which should be translated into missionary discipleship, evangelization, especially in remote areas, because our Apostolic Vicariate is so huge, so much so that there are still parts of the Vicariate that are not being reached out fully by our priests and evangelizers.
With those emphasizing ministries you have set up for Vicariate, Bishop, what are the main challenges yet you have identified, and perhaps the future challenges as well you may face?
The number one challenge that we have is the lack of personnel. In fact, I have been here for the last 7 years, and I only ordained 3 priests. So it's a big challenge for us, especially that most of our priests are already in their senior age. And in the years to come, if we will not get more vocations, we will be having a hard time having priests to work for the evangelization. That is why we need also to empower the laity in this regard, because I don't think we can do it by ourselves for the priests, meaning for priests. And the second challenge, of course, is the geography. It's really so huge. It's so big. And in fact, as a bishop, I do a lot of travel. In fact, one of my biggest adjustments when I came in was to travel a lot. I went to a pastoral visit to a parish. I have to travel also from here to that parish, and then I have to visit an island there, because we also have islands in the Vicariate. So that's one of the big challenges, one of the big challenges that we face. And of course, perennial challenge is the resources that we have.
Within those pictures of various challenges you have faced, Bishop, you mentioned about the community outreach, pastoral visit to the community. What would be normally pastoral spiritual guidance you give the people to empower them within such situation, condition of your Apostolic Vicariate?
That's a good question, Father, because when I came in, the basic ecclesial communities has already been established, and there are already active communities in the different villages. My role in my task in my pastoral visit is just to inspire them and to make them feel that they're being remembered, and they feel that they're part of the Vicariate because of my presence. So it's more of giving them inspiration.
Very good. Giving the inspiration, I think it's a give a lot of impacts normally to our people. Let us now move a little bit after you narrating or explaining about your Apostolic Vicariate. Let's now talk about you. We want to listen to your stories. So can you tell us your vocation as a priest and of course as a bishop?
Okay, I come from another island called Bohol in the central part of the Philippines, and it's a very predominantly Catholic island, and it's even the producer of many vocations, priests and sisters, religious vocations. I came to realize that actually I felt I entered the seminary at a very young age, at the age of 13, and of course, just like any young boy at the time, the intention to enter the seminary was not so very, very pure. In fact, I was interested to enter the seminary because of the story of my elder brother, who then was already in the seminary, and he told me about life in the seminary. They have a basketball court, they have a tennis court, They have fun in the seminary. So I was attracted to join the seminary, to enter the seminary. So I entered in 1976 as a first-year high school student. And then eventually, after graduation from high school, I decided to continue. And I began to realize that maybe God is really calling me to the priestly vocation. And then, before graduation from college, some of us in our class, young, at a very young age, we were very idealistic. We wanted to be more, to face more challenges. We said, if we become priests in the island of Bohol, we said, it seems there would be no challenge because Bohol is just a very small island and it's very Catholic. So we thought maybe we go somewhere else. And one of my classmates joined the Society of Jesus, of the Jesuits. Two of us joined the Mission Society of the Philippines because we wanted to go beyond the island of Bohol. So, and then I joined the Mission Society of the Philippines. I had my theology in Tagaytay. And then after I was ordained, and unfortunately, my dream of going out for foreign mission did not materialize because most of my assignments were in the administrative work. And then after some years, when I was already hoping to be assigned for foreign mission, I got a call from the nunciature telling me that I was appointed as the National Director of the Pontifical Mission Societies. It's an office under the Congregation for the Evangelization of Peoples. So that's where I spent 7 years as the National Director for the mission in the Philippines. After which, when I was already hoping, after my term, I was already looking forward to be assigned for foreign mission, that I was informed that I was appointed Bishop of the Apostolic Vicariate of Puerto Princesa.
Since the appointment, Bishop, how is it now? Since the years of appointment, 2016 up to now, where do you see now your being as a separate in the Vicariate?
First of all, I would say time really flies so fast because looking back, I didn't realize it's already 7 years since I was ordained and installed as the Bishop of the Apostolic Vicariate of Puerto Princesa. I would say that for the past 7 years, it's been a very fulfilling and happy experience. I feel more fulfilled, especially if I go to the different communities and listen to the stories of our people, how they struggle and how they live out their faith. And it's very enriching and very humbling experience. And with that, I have also been enriched in my vocation as a priest and as a bishop. And so far, I feel happy and fulfilled as a bishop.
Talking about that, fulfilled with visiting the people in the community, listen to their stories. And I'm sure you also encounter youth, young people throughout your vicariate. Can you tell us is there any specific ministries for young people and education in your vicariate, Bishop?
Yeah, first of all, the Philippines in general is a young population. We have a lot of youth. And with that, as the situation, we can also say that even here in Palawan, the youth is also a big portion of the population. So we are very fortunate that we have active youth in the different parishes. We have formation for the youth. Because we have the youth ministry, which is a very important ministry within the church. And so far, we have active youth, and they're very participative in church activities. We do. The only problem we have with the youth is that it's very fluid, no? Because after they graduate from senior high, they have to come to the city or go somewhere else. So it's very fluid now. You have to continues to changes so fast. I mean, their involvement. In fact, as I go to the different parishes, I experience new faces. Now I encounter new faces every time I go to the parishes because they change so fast because after graduation, they move out either for study or for work.
Let us move now a little bit to the social and environment effort issues. We know that Pope Francis talks a lot about in Laudato Si and Laudato Deum, about the caring of our universe as a common home. And I believe the Palawan region is known as very rich in terms of natural resources. So what is the role of the Church in maintaining the nature in Palawan, and perhaps if there is any issue related to the climate crisis, what role you have been fulfilled on that issue?
Yes, I agree with you that Palawan is so rich in terms of its natural resources. In fact, it's named as the last ecological frontier. But the sad fact is that it has been threatened because of the so-called development that they want to pursue, like mining, like quarrying, like illegal fishing, and so on and so forth. Now, our role in this regard is to be the conscience of society. We continue to release some statements about protecting our home, and because in Palawan, NGOs that cater to the environment is also very strong. There is already an awareness among our people about the need to care for the earth. Our role is to tie up with them, to work with them, and continue to be the conscience of our society to care for the earth, our common home.
When you're trying to bring awareness to the people, do you also somehow trying to have dialogue with the government?
Our provincial government is calling for a summit on mining, and we are part of it. I am even invited to be one of the presenters on my topic. The topic given to me is on stewardship of environment. So yes, we continue to have dialogue with the local government.
One of the impacts of these developments you mentioned earlier, Bishop, on the mining developments and projects are the local people or the indigenous people, the poor people, the marginalized. Is there any particular effort from the Church or initiatives from the Church how to protect these indigenous people that impact by those mining projects?
We have in the Vicariate a special ministry for the indigenous peoples, and they're the ones really trying to organize and to educate our indigenous peoples about the right, about the need to protect the environment. But it's really a very tall order because we are up to very powerful people in the country.
Still in line with that, ministry look after particularly those indigenous people. In FABC, we have the triple principles, triple dialogues: dialogue with culture, with the marginalized, and with other religions. I am sure the three are all applied in your vicariate, but what is the most applicable for your context, Bishop, from these triple dialogues?
I think the triple dialogue is applicable to Palawan, to our vicariate, because dialogue with culture, we have 8 tribal groups in Palawan. So we need to really dialogue with them, especially that many of our tribal people seem to lose their cultural heritage. In fact, I had a dialogue with one of the communities, tribal communities, and that's what I emphasized to them, that they need to value their culture because they seem to lose their cultural identity. And religious dialogue, interreligious dialogue is also very applicable here because first and foremost, especially in the southern part of Palawan, there we have a lot of Muslims, and we also have different Christian denominations. And I'm happy to say that our ecumenical movement is very strong. We have constant dialogue with our Christian brothers of different traditions. And we also have efforts to dialogue with our Muslim brothers. And in fact, some of the parishes that we have where majority are, where a big number of Muslims are, have also a good program for dialogue. And of course, dialogue with the poor is a constant challenge because in the Philippines, even if we have gained some economic progress, but majority are still poor, and many are still left out after we have developed, and for this, we continue to dialogue with them.
In your context, in what ways that synod and synodality has been applied?
That's a good question, Father, because with that in mind, in my pastoral visit, that's why I go there, and not only to visit them, but also to listen to them. Because I told them that in the context of synod and synodality, that they need to be listened to. So I go out to the so-called peripheries, to those who are in the peripheries, and just allow them to speak out so that I can listen as their pastor. It's not only that I talk to them and say to them what they want, what I want them to do, but more about listening to what they say to me, what are their struggles as a community, as Christians. So I think the synod and synodality is very concrete when we go out and listen to our people.
This is my final question to you, Bishop. Perhaps from the tourist perspective, everyone knows about Palawan. But if I may invite you, what would be your message from a shepherd to the audience out there for them to know about Palawan, particularly about your Apostolic Vicariate?
I'll take this opportunity to invite our viewers to, if you have time to visit Palawan, it's a beautiful place to visit. We have nature, the sea, the mountains, the trees, and it's a wonderful experience for you to commune with nature. So we'll be very happy to have you here. And of course, part of the program of the local government is to promote tourism in the country, and in particular for Palawan. And in the context of evangelization, I think tourism is also considered to be a means for evangelization because tourists come in and some of them go to church, visit the church, and in that way we are also being able to dialogue with them. In fact, I have some encounters with some Catholics who would come and have coffee with them, and from Europe, from somewhere else, and have coffee with them and talk about Catholic faith. And at the same time, I believe there are people or tourists who come, would visit us, curious about what we do in the church, but also be curious also about what faith is all about. And I think it enriches both. So I invite you to come.
Bishop Sok, it has been a pleasure talking with you. Thank you very much for your time. We have to end here. I am Father Castorema Espede of Radio Veritas Asia. See you next time for more interesting conversations with Asian bishops.